I'm James Barris. Today, we're going to talk about the one thing that truly makes your English sound native. And trust me, it's probably not what you're thinking. This quote right here, it's the dream, isn't it? We all want that, to speak English smoothly, naturally, with this confidence where it just feels like a part of you. But man, for so many of us, there's this huge, frustrating gap, right? Between the perfect English that's in our heads and the words that actually manage to come out.
So before we go any further chasing this goal, we've got to stop and ask a really important question. What does native actually mean? Are we chasing the right thing here? Does it just mean you were born in, say, the US or the UK? Does it mean you have a perfect accent? Or is it something else, something deeper?
All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to talk about the native speaker myth. And honestly, this is where I think most learners get completely tripped up.
So look at this. On one side, you have what we think the goal is, perfect English. Zero mistakes, flawless grammar. But the real goal, it's effortless English. See, a native speaker isn't someone who's perfect. Trust me, they make mistakes all the time. They're just effortless. They're not constantly translating in their heads. The words just flow. So the goal shifts from just sounding like them to actually starting to think like them. That's a huge difference.
And that misunderstanding, that focus on perfection, well, it leads so many of us down the completely wrong path. Let's talk about what learners often get wrong.
Yeah, this is so common. We chase the shiny objects, right? The things that seem like fluency. We try to copy an accent perfectly, memorize long lists of idioms, or learn these super fancy vocabulary words to sound smart. But here's the thing. That's all just window dressing. You're chasing the sound of English, not the feel of it, not its soul. And this right here, this is what happens. You end up with speech that's grammatically close, but emotionally off. You know that feeling? When you say something and it's technically correct, but it just lands flat? It feels a little weird. That's because the words are English, but the heartbeat behind them, the emotion, it's still being translated. The soul is speaking a totally different rhythm.
Okay, so if it's not the accent and it's not a bunch of fancy words, then what is the secret? Well, we're about to get to the real heart of it all. This is the missing piece of the puzzle.
It's rhythm. That's it. The secret ingredient is rhythm. It's not about the specific words you choose. It's about the music you create when you string them all together.
I love this quote. English is not just spoken, it's played. Think about that. It has its own melody, its own internal beat, and native speakers, they feel that beat. They don't even think about it. They naturally connect their words, they stress certain sounds, and they create this incredible flow. They're literally playing the music of the language.
And here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. In writing, you see, give me that. But what do we say? Gimme that. Or what do you want to do becomes what do you want to do? Now, that's not being lazy or speaking bad English. That's rhythm and action. The words are blending together to keep the music, to keep that natural beat of the sentence flowing.
So this is the big mindset shift, okay? You have to stop speaking word by word by word. Instead, you need to start speaking idea by idea. Feel the entire thought, the whole chunk of meaning, and let it come out as one smooth phrase. It's like you're describing a picture in your mind, not just reading words off a list.
All right, I can hear you now. You're saying, okay, James, this all sounds great. Rhythm, I get it. But how in the world do I practice that? And that is an excellent question. So let's break it down. Here's your 4-step practice.
Okay, step 1. Listen deeply. And I mean really listen. Stop trying to listen to 100 different accents. Just pick one speaker you really like and absorb their rhythm, their music. Step 2 is shadowing. This one is a game changer, for real. You listen to that person and you try to speak at the exact same time as them. You're not waiting and repeating. You're speaking with them. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just try to match their flow. Number 3, think in English. Start super small, like when you're thirsty, instead of translating it in your head, just have the thought, I need some water. And finally, step 4, use emotion. Don't just say the words, feel them. When you say, I'm so excited, feel that excitement. That's what gives your words life.
And what's so cool is that when you start doing this, something really profound starts to happen. You're not just a student learning English anymore. You start the transformation into becoming a native thinker.
And this is where we're headed. The day when English stops being a subject you study and it just becomes like a second skin. That's the goal. The moment you stop trying so hard to sound native and you just start to feel the language, man, everything changes. It's not a tool anymore. It's just you.
So, look, here's the real takeaway. Forget about having a perfect accent. Stop worrying about it. Instead, focus on the rhythm, focus on the emotion, and focus on connecting your thoughts. True fluency is about feeling the language, not just reciting it. So I want to leave you with this one question to chew on. The next time you're speaking English, ask yourself, am I just speaking the words, or am I starting to feel them? Are you just saying sentences, or are you starting to play the music?
Hey, if this explainer clicked for you, if it was helpful, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and please share this with anyone else you know who's trying to find their flow in English. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.